Yo, what up, guys? Welcome back to the fastest growing sports gambling podcast in the tri-state area. We got AA Anthony Alessino. We got the graduate Bryan Castiglione. And my name, as always, is James Hawkinjos. And this is Parlay-Vous. What's up? We're back. It's week 3. Bryan Castiglione's back in the house.
What's going on?
Alessino not in the house. But, one of these days we'll get a full show.
Happy birthday, Valentina.
Happy birthday, Valentina. 27 never looked so good. Certainly not when I turned 27.
I can't say the same either.
So, week 2 is come and gone. Better for me than last week. You were just saying all fair, not that great for yourself.
The same result as last week.
Not great.
No money incoming, just outgoing. So
it's what we call a good day for the book. I made a little bit, it is what it is. At the end of the day, a win's a win. But we got some big points I got to bring up from the games that we watched this past weekend. Number one, first and foremost, the Tampa Bay defense has looked bad.
Bad?
Bad,
Okay,
dude.
okay.
They almost lost to Atlanta. Atlanta brought it within a touchdown at a certain point.
Towards the end, but
They're in a shootout. Right. They're in a shootout against Dallas last week. We expect if there was anything that I would have put a mortal lock on, out of any bet you could have made in football last week, it would have been the over on the Dallas Chargers game. And that game goes 2017. Tampa Bay's defense right now has looked so bad that I'm not that excited about them to return to the Super Bowl from a gambling aspect.
I don't think the defense would determine that. I think Brady's going to just do what he does. You know what I'm saying?
You think they're going to outrun they were never going to outgun the Chiefs. The whole reason they won that game was on their defense.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like with the Falcons game, it wound up being closer, but it did not start off closer. Like, Matt Ryan looked horrendous. Like, absolutely horrendous at some parts. And I don't think it was all because of Matt Ryan's lack of talent.
If there's anything we know about the Falcons, it's that even when they've been terrible, and they've been terrible, they've always been slow starters. The fact that game got to be close, if you're dealing with a top 16, top 17 team in the league, they might never look back at that point and come and get you. Now, they won the game, so it is what it is. They're 2-0. What are we talking about it for?
Yeah.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But right now, I'm uninspired by the way they're playing defense. Second point is, are the Ravens just inconsistent, or are the Las Vegas Raiders really good?
I think the Raiders are good.
You think,
to be honest,
the Raiders are really good, right?
I think there's something going on there. I think Derek Carr, it seems like he's just clicking. Everything's kind of going. The defense seems a little bit better, but I do think a big reason is Derek Carr. I really think he's throwing.
I think it's Gruden too, and I think a lot of people wanted to get on him, especially because traded away Amari Cooper, traded away Khalil Mack. Now those picks have all come to fruition, and they're getting their guys that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Although we talked about it 1 or 2 weeks ago. On the offseason, they called the Bears asking for Khalil Mack back.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
No thanks.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to take Gruden a few years to get it going because he was out of the game for 15 years, 10, 15 years. And then he's just going to come back in and, be great again. But he is still one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen in our lifetime. People forget, because people our age who didn't watch football as young, they don't remember those Bucs teams and those Raiders teams.
Yeah.
Where he won Super Bowls with both of them. He's a very good coach. I think Carr is above average, and he's playing lights out right now.
I think he's playing very well.
It's a good example of what the good scheme with the right quarterback will get you in the league. You don't need to be flashy.
And you have Darren Waller.
Yeah, Darren Waller.
And you have Darren Waller. I mean, the targets are insane, and the return on...
We were like, imagine if he was never a drug addict, dude.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is nuts how good he is.
He's insane. 19 targets in week 1, and then I didn't see what his target share was yesterday.
That I did not, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm surprised they beat the Steelers.
Well,
to be honest with you, you know what it is? The Steelers are so weird. Remember last year they were the undefeated team for so long. They lost one, and then the wheels just completely fell off.
They became a team we love to fade.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like and I just feel like there's no identity with them now. Like, I still don't know. Like how you're asking, are the Raiders good? I feel like, are the Steelers good or are the Steelers bad? Are we in the same boat we were last year, or are we worse?
I came out last week and I gave the Steelers a lot of credit. I said maybe we were overlooking them because if Ben is still halfway decent and the defense holds up, they beat the Bills, and they beat the Bills in a game that, like, they kind of made them look fucking foolish on offense. The Bills did. They made the Bills look foolishly offensively. But then the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if Ben has it. I don't know if they're really going to have the firepower to keep it going. And I'm looking late. Maybe it's 12:30, 12:45 Eastern time. And I'm looking to tag one more bet in. And I threw 2 units on the Raiders money line because I'm just looking at it. I'm like, plus 200 is great. Like, they just beat the Ravens, who are been at the top of the AFC since Lamar got to town. Basically.
Just beat them, and they just beat the Chiefs.
And then they just beat the Chiefs last night. So the Raiders, once again, early in the season, look like a team we love to bet on. I don't know if it's going to remain that way.
I think it depends on. I mean, you know the division they're in.
Yeah, you know how it's
still going to verse the Chiefs twice. You know.
Well, and there's certain things like I don't know if I'm going to bet on Arizona past like week 9 ever again.
But hold on, if I might be wrong, they beat the Chiefs last year. No.
The Raiders,
right?
In that overtime game,
I think they got one game against the Chiefs last year. I'm pretty sure.
Beat them. If it wasn't an overtime game, it was a shootout.
It was something close.
That division is insanity, the West. So I think it's more about the Raiders being good than I think the Ravens are also a little inconsistent, but I don't think the inconsistencies are their fault. I think they're built to play a certain way. And up until last night, where we saw Lamar execute on when he needed to push the ball. We have, like, it's hard when they get in these shootout games. They're not built to throw the ball a lot. So even people want to talk shit on Lamar as a passer. They're not built to throw the ball, though. Yeah. Like, they're not built to be behind.
Yeah, I mean, your number one receiver is Marquise Brown.
Who none of us have liked none of us have been a big fan of him.
Actually, I guess your one receiver is Andrews, but from a personnel standpoint,
he's fallen off in my eyes as one of the top
really. I think he looks better in these 2 weeks.
Everything is good. Everything is good when the run game is going good.
Yeah, and Tyson Williams is.
And then they run the ball well. And even then, when it came down to when they got the ball back, what did? They ran the ball. You know how many teams are gonna throw the ball on 4th and 2 in that situation?
Yeah, and I think it's a great rebound for Lamar. I know we're getting a little off tangent here, but it was a good rebound for Lamar last night. Compared to last week with the Raiders when
coming off the short week, everything they needed. Yeah, at home, right? That was in Baltimore. That game last night, or am I wrong about
that game last night was in Baltimore.
It was in Baltimore.
Yeah, because that place was rocking, especially when it was getting close in the 4th quarter. Yeah,
and then just a little reach, poke, and slap, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire drops the ball. We'll move on to my third and final point. Little bit of a big one. This is seemingly the most open the NFL has been, or at least felt at this point in the season in a while. And now, so I have the list.
Okay.
2-0 teams. Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers. Do you know how many of those teams were playoff teams last year? And can you tell me which ones they are? Do you want me to tell you?
I know Denver was not.
No.
Raiders were not.
Nope.
Panthers were not.
Nope.
Bucks were.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else you had on there.
San Fran
made the playoffs last year? No, they didn't.
Nope. Arizona.
Right, because they were played. Yeah, and Arizona made it.
They didn't make it either. The only other team on the list that made it are the Rams.
Wow.
The Rams and the Bucks.
Why did I think that? I guess because you
are the only 2 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2-0 teams. Only 2 of them were playoff teams last year. And like sometimes, it's at this point. We're talking 2 games into the season. Mm-hmm. It's at this point. But you're not going to overreact. But certain, like Carolina, I think might be better than I thought they were.
I was big on Carolina coming in. I'm big on Sam Darnold. I feel like a lot of people are, though, so it's kind of just...
Well, I've always felt like everything I know about the Jets says that bet on Sam Darnold to win Comeback Player of the Year because that's what happens when average to good players leave the Jets still in their youth.
Yeah.
But like I said, I put the house last week on the Saints to cover. Like, I did not expect that. I think Denver might be better than we thought they were going to be as long as Teddy holds up.
And the defense holds up.
San Fran, I think you kind of figured.
They're always kind of mingling.
They had the injury issues. Yeah. And last year, that probably kept them out of the playoffs.
And it's looking like it might be going that way again.
I mean you never know. Like, that's the thing, too. I heard this, I think it was on the radio today. I think it was on local talk radio today. I heard it. I just want to credit the source. It's not my idea. Do the Niners have bad injury history, or do they sign players who get hurt a lot?
You know,
like Jason Verrett's hurt. He's been hurt every year he's been in the league. They just signed him. He's hurt already. That's the number one player I could think of off the top of my head right now. But they have a lot of players that get hurt.
I mean, Eli Mitchell got banged up a little bit. He wound up coming back.
What about Raheem Mostert?
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
He got hurt an extra 3 weeks earlier than he usually does.
Yeah. I mean, even last year, I think it was around this time last year, the Niners had, I want to say it was at least 9 people hurt.
Well, yeah, because like week 2 against the Jets, they lost Bosa to an ACL. They lost one of their other DNs to an ACL. They lost like 3-4 starters against the Jets. And the week before that, they played the Giants in MetLife, and they lost 2 starters them. So remember, they sued the league. They wanted the league to investigate MetLife's turf.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all I got on opening points. You got anything else?
If I could just go over, like, if I had a couple quick points. One of my main points that I was going to say, you brought it up, though. I think Lamar looks good. I know how you were saying the Ravens. The Ravens, they have to play a certain way in order to win. But when it's working, and I think it works very well. Another thing that I kind of realized, Jets fans. I was at a family event this weekend with a bunch of Jets fans, and I feel like everyone's really hitting the panic button very quickly on Zach Wilson. I feel like he will be fine. Bill Belichick has a huge habit of being able to make rookie quarterbacks' day absolutely terrible, and I think that's just what happened on Sunday. I think the Jets will be fine. I think Zach Wilson will be fine. I don't think there's any reason to freak out. I don't know how you feel about that being a Jets fan. But
Bill Belichick has made a career out of destroying rookie quarterbacks.
There's just nothing you can do.
Mac Jones, out of the 5 of those guys, and this is not an original thought, he's just in the best position to succeed.
Yeah.
Out of the 5 rookies.
Yeah.
They're doing, like, a lot of people, maybe they really didn't want Tom because they got Cam Newton and people thought they're going to start doing shit that they couldn't do without Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got a little sad with Cam and his arm.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that? And now they get Mac Jones. The first play from scrimmage last week is a jet sweep to Jonnu Smith. They ran that same action like 4 or 5 times all game yesterday against the Jets. They ran that double pass.
Yeah.
They're just doing all kinds of fancy, gadgety, like easy spark plug play type shit that you couldn't do with Tom. Because
because the mobility's not there.
Why would we? Well, not even that. It's why would we do that stupid nonsense? They're in cover 2. You run the fucking hook route that burns cover 2. Like, what are we? You know?
Are you panicked though?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't.
Absolutely not. You have to. Where were your expectations? Because my expectations were 3 to 7 wins.
Yeah.
So if you thought this kid that came in from BYU, who's got all the talent in the world, who has showed us already, I'm quite the opposite actually. I think Zach might be it. Like
I think he'll be good.
Given the right things happen for him. Now you could say about tons of guys, but I said after week 1, he's a little too frenetic. At least 3 out of the 4 interceptions, if not 2 of them, or at least 2, if not 3, were due to his freneticism. The one deep one that don't throw the ball away.
Yeah.
The one that went through Corey Davis's hands is not on him.
There's nothing you can do about that.
It's not a great throw, but Corey Davis should have had it. And you want to try to fix him to a degree where he's not as crazy, but that's what makes him at the same time.
Yeah.
Like on 3rd down, go be Aaron Rodgers. Go be Drew Brees. Go be like Mahomes.
Yeah.
But on 1st and 2nd down, I need you to be Kyle Orton.
Yeah.
You know?
We need you to just get the yards and
keep us in games in the second half. Because they could have won that game in Carolina, you know?
Yeah.
You got to keep us within 17 to 20 going into the second half, and we might have a shot at this thing.
Another thing, too, you got to think about the O-line losing Makai back then. Basically, for the rest of the season, 8 to 16 weeks.
4 to 8.
4 to 8?
I saw 4 to 8. It's arthroscopic knee surgery. He dislocated his kneecap, which isn't terrible because it's better than in the ACL.
Yeah.
Better than an ACL tear. Here's the thing, man. 6'7", 370, 4'8", 4'9" speed. This might just be a thing. And this was a number. I forget the exact numbers, but I'll do this quick and we'll get to guess the lines because I saw, I think, either Manish Mehta, who covers the Jets for New York Daily News, or Rich Cimini, who's ESPN New York. One of them two beat writers. I think it was Manish. DeBrickashaw played, say it was 1,062
Mhm.
of a possible 1,062 regular season snaps with the Jets.
Wow.
You know, like
Yeah.
we had Brick for fucking 12 years or whatever it was, and now this is what it is.
Not,
not every top 10 left tackle is going to be the guy, and I hope he gets well. He's a monster when he's healthy, but now this is 2 years in a row he's got foot and knee problems. Wasn't it a foot last year with him?
He was out for a while
with a foot, right? So when you're fucking, it's like Durant and all the 7-footers in the NBA. They all, Giannis, they all have foot issues.
Just big
because they're big fucking dudes.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets better. I'm not panicking on Zach. As a matter of fact, I'm still all in on Zach.
Good. That's good to hear.
Still, honestly, at this point, I know it's going to sound stupid and Jets fan like. Not that I would have wanted Zach 1. Obviously, you want Trevor. I'm glad they were 2, and they didn't have to make the choice.
Right.
Because
it's like a fantasy.
Had we taken Trevor and him, say everyone says the floor for Trevor is he's a solid starter for 12 years. Had we gotten that, I think that's great. He's a solid starter. Andrew Luck was a solid starter. Never won anything. But what if Zach Wilson is terrible for like 2 or 3 or 4 years, but he has 3 MVP seasons in 1 ring?
Yeah.
Like now you're looking at it. Well, I'd rather have the fucking 3 MVP seasons in 1 ring the way we play football.
It's been
today.
bad. It could stay bad for a little bit if it gets really good.
So that's all I have to say on that. We go right in and guess the lines. I'm ready. So quick review. We haven't brought up the review of the rules since week 1. Plus, this is Bryan's first time playing Guess the Lines, correct?
Yes, in this way.
Well,
we did the wins.
In the way of actually scoring it. And so usually we play for a $25 parlay at the end of the week. Whoever gets the spread closer gets the point.
Mm-hmm.
If we're the same distance away, but opposite, you follow me? So say the spread's 3. Say the spread's 3, you guess 4, I guess 2. We're both 1 away. Price is Right rules. You went over, so I would get that.
Gotcha.
New rule for this year: if you get the head on the score on the money, the spread on the money, it's worth 2.
Okay.
So I'll keep score.
Can you have that pen next to you?
Sure.
Thank you. I threw mine over there, and I should have.
Houston hosting Carolina on Thursday Night Football. They continue to be in games. They continue to compete with Tyrod Taylor back there.
Just making it a hard time for no
Carolina
reason.
The Jets game I was nervous about because it was like you're up 16-0 at halftime and then final score is 19-14. Sam missed a couple of wide open guys in the end zone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's typical Sam shit. I watched it for 3 years. But then they come out and beat the ever-living piss out of the Saints, who have a good defense, who have a above-average offense, who have Alvin Kamara, who's one of the best one-touch home run threats in the league. So on the road, I know this is high, but I'm giving them 6.5. Carolina giving 6.5.
Well, if you're high, I'm going at 7.5 for this one.
Bryan on the money at 7.5.
Bryan starts out with 2 right away.
Hot start.
Even though I thought that was high, because I don't know, Houston's like you're saying, Houston's bad, but I mean we saw them against the Browns yesterday. We're giving them a little bit of trouble, and Browns versus the Chiefs in the playoffs last week. So
yeah, I think this might be an early favorite for a tease. If it's 7.5, you get that 6-point tease. You get it down to 1.5. That might be a favorite on a teaser. Washington at Buffalo. This one was hard for me. I got Buffalo at home, just over a field goal, -4.5.
Really? I had them much higher, but I guess I didn't really take the defense into account. I went -6 for Buffalo.
Buffalo the favorite at 9 flat.
-9
flat.
So it's 3-0 Bryan. We got Chicago Bears, the Bears, in Cleveland. Cleveland probably going to fall victim. They just were -12 last week, and I gave them another high spread just because Fields is probably going to be coming in. Cleveland's defense is not why am I blanking on who they played yesterday?
The Texans.
Right. Cleveland's defense is not not Cleveland.
Oh.
Who'd Chicago play yesterday?
The Bengals.
The Bengals, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cleveland's defense is not fucking Cincinnati's defense, dude. Justin Fields, granted, he's probably going to get the week to prepare. I'm assuming he's going to start that game, right? I got Cleveland laying 10.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, we're not even in the same area. And that's just because, and I feel like betting on Chicago is weird. I never know. I feel like you never know what Chicago game you're going to get. I don't know if that's just me. I try to stay away from it. But I went with Cleveland, but I only gave them 1.5.
Wow, less than field goal at home, huh?
Just because I feel like Chicago stays in these close grind out games. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I still think Cleveland wins, but would you be surprised if the game ends?
How much better do you think Chicago is than Houston, though? Because Cleveland was laying 12, I believe, on the road in Houston last week, right? Wasn't that game in Houston? Or am I wrong about that?
I'm not sure. You might be right.
I'm not positive. Yeah. But either way, whether it was home or away, they were laying 12 to Houston. How much? I don't think Chicago's 10 points better than Houston.
I think honestly, like I said, Chicago's weird to me. I think this is more of a personal thing because I always get burned on Chicago.
We're gonna find out if you're right.
So
Cleveland the favorite at 7.5.
Yeah, so
7.5. So just over a touchdown. So I'm gonna get that one on the board. It's 3-1. I probably see right away. I see an early tease, the Carolina Browns tease. That might be the tease of the week. Baltimore in Detroit. Coming off of 2 close games, they haven't proved they could blow anybody out. We haven't seen Detroit play week 2 yet. They're playing in about an hour. Gotta get a prop bet in. This is gonna be the weekly most part of the show where we talk about how we need to get a prop bet in. So my point is they haven't proven that they could blow anyone out yet, and Detroit hasn't proven yet to be able to be blown out.
I think we know, yeah.
So I got Baltimore laying 2.5 on the road.
We're so completely off again. I have Baltimore at 9. I think Baltimore's gonna.
And you could be way more right.
I think Baltimore's
gonna
just torch them. I think with week 1, Detroit coming back was a matter of San Francisco just slowing down. Like they came out very hot, got the lead early, and then Detroit kind of just was garbage time.
It's not so much about how you think the game is gonna go. You got to think about what Vegas wants to do. Because Vegas had the line at 8. They don't want to scare you away with a line too high. They want you to play it. They had 8 for San Fran over Detroit in week 1, and that wound up pushing at 8. I think the line finished at 8.5, so it wound up just covering.
Mm-hmm.
But so, I try to think about it more about how I think Vegas feels than I feel personally. But
I'm still going with 9. It's probably going to be wrong, but we'll take it.
Brian, you're right. 9 on the head.
It's 9 on the head.
Let's go.
And it's 5-1, and it's bloody.
Come on, you don't think Baltimore could?
No, I think
9 against Detroit.
I think Baltimore could cover that for sure.
And I feel like the big theme outside of the Giants and the Jets being the quote unquote bad teams, I think Detroit is the bad team.
They're one of the worst. They're one of the worst.
Just from a public opinion. I think people thought Houston was going to be the worst team, and then these last 2 weeks they've been like, all right, maybe they're not bad.
David Culley wants people to respect him before they start losing games.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I bet you that line changes if Detroit wins tonight.
I'm sure it does.
That line will be going in the morning, and you won't be able to get it again until late afternoon.
So lock
tomorrow.
it in now. You heard it here first.
Indianapolis at Tennessee. This one was tough for me, and that's why I asked if Wentz was playing, but then I still stuck to my guns. Tennessee -2.5 at home.
I have Tennessee -3.5.
Tennessee -5.5.
Oh, Brian's going to get another one. I think that's a little high.
Yeah, you think that's high?
I'd stay away from it.
I mean, I don't know. I would think I'd stay away from that game also.
Kansas City hosting the Los Angeles Superchargers. I got just hard for me to go under a touchdown with Kansas City at home. I got them by 7.5, and that might be too low.
I have them at 5.5. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Kansas City 6.5.
Oof.
It's the good old tie goes to Bryan.
Wow.
And it's fucking 7-1, and it's bloody. And it's
this
bloody.
One I wasn't sure about at all.
New England, New Orleans. I mean, it's hard with the rookie quarterback. They're at
and we don't know what's good with New Orleans. First week they came out, they're like, "This is crazy. Let's look at Jameis." And then last week you're like, "Oh, look at Jameis."
They showed that they're going to capitalize if you make mistakes and if you don't have your shit together. It's a Bill Belichick team at the end of the day. I gave them 1.5 at home.
I gave New Orleans 1.5.
New England the favorite at 3 flat.
Wow.
3, yeah, okay. So that makes sense. So we're crawling back into this one at 7-2. We got the Dirty Birds of Atlanta, the Falcons, in MetLife Stadium, playing the New York Giants, the G-Men. I couldn't bring myself to put a spread on this game, dude. It's a pick 'em.
That's what I was going to do, but I gave the Giants 1.5.
Giants the favorite by 3.
3.
Giants by 3. Huh? All right. Well,
If you say so.
If you say so.
If you
That'll
say
move.
so.
That'll move. Cincinnati in Pittsburgh. I don't really know what to make of these two guys. Divisional game. I'm just going with the standard, just about 3 for the home team, so I'm going Pittsburgh by 2.5.
It's funny because I feel like I want Cincinnati to be good. I like the high power offense, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I went Pittsburgh 3.5.
We got Pittsburgh at 4.5.
Pittsburgh 4.5, and Brian's murdering me. That's not all she wrote yet, but it's close. We got the Arizona Cardinals in Jacksonville. Talk about the teams that are just bad. I mean, they're going to be exciting. You're going to have Trevor there, and when Travis Etienne gets back, they're going to make some exciting stuff happen. Good playmakers, but I just don't think they're a very good football team. I got Arizona by 6.5 on the road.
Got Arizona by 7.5.
I think that's the kill shot. Arizona at 7.5.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
Listen, you watched me fill them out right next to you.
I know. I'm not accusing you of nothing.
I'm just as surprised as you are. Don't get me wrong.
Listen, hey, what do they call it? Your first time sitting down at the chair. Something about beginner's luck. It is what it is. Jets at Denver. Denver seems to be better than we thought, as we said already in the beginning of the show. The Jets are just about as bad as we thought they were. I got Denver over a touchdown at home, minus 8.5.
I have Denver at 3.5. So another one we're completely.
Denver the favorite at 11 flat.
Oh, all right. So you got it, Jim.
All right, yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
You don't think that seems high?
we're chipping away.
Am I higher on the Jets than I should be, and they're not even my favorite team?
I think 11.5 seems a little high.
I feel like it's high.
But I bet you, because especially Denver being Denver the way they have since Peyton left, that number is going to crawl probably to around the 8 to 9 range, if not closer to 7.5, because people are going to start hitting the Jets to cover. I bet.
Right. I mean, I think
11. All right. Miami in Vegas. We mentioned Tua is not playing. We think Vegas is better than the public might perceive them, so to say. Vegas laying 6.5 at home.
I have Vegas at 1.5.
Interesting.
I know.
Got Vegas at minus 4.
4.
All right. And we're chipping. Tampa Bay in Los Angeles. Like I said, something about that Tampa defense just isn't sitting right with me right now. Los Angeles in their beautiful new home. They might have some actual Rams fans by the end of this year that actually associate themselves with the team.
You got Stafford now.
I got Rams just over a field goal, minus 3.5.
I have it the same number, different team. 3.5 for Tampa Bay.
Wow, okay.
We got the pick 'em for this week.
Ooh.
This is the pick 'em, huh?
Very spicy.
All right, wait. So, and we were both equally far away, so no
So
one
what
gets
happens?
it. No, it's a wash.
No.
We both get one. No one gets one. Who
Just
cares?
wash it.
Yeah. Seattle in Minnesota. If you don't know by now, now you know. We don't like the Vikings. Seattle minus 2.5 on the road.
Seattle minus 3.5.
Seattle minus 1.5.
Ooh,
Yeah,
there
I'll
it is.
take that one, and
There
we'll
it
slice
is.
the lead in half with a game to go. So Bryan won, by the way. It's 11-5, and there's 2 games left.
This one I wasn't sure about.
This one, until we get to week 4, 5, 6, it's gonna be it's always gonna be harder with the teams that play on Monday night the week before, because we do this show on Mondays and we haven't seen those games yet. I got San Fran by 3.5 because I'm just assuming we're gonna see more of not great from Green Bay tonight.
I got Green Bay by 1.5.
James, what was your pick?
San Fran by 3.5.
We got San Fran by 3.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I like that one. And the Monday night game, the Birds, the Philadelphia Eagles, at the Dallas Cowboys. I like Dallas a lot.
Mm-hmm. So do I.
As we all know, I think the Birds are trash. Dallas by 6.5.
I got Dallas at 3.5.
Bryan ended out hot at 3.5 for the Dallas Cowboys.
You hit it on the head, so not that it matters, but Bryan has 13 to my 6. Bryan wins the week. Before we go to our break, I will say, Connor contacted me again because word got out. He heard. He's
through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine. He knows what's going on. He heard about it. He sent me a fucking video either Sunday morning before the games or Saturday night. And he's like, so look, I was a little hot. I got a little cocky. It's like I looked at the Eagles' schedule and they got a really tough schedule coming up. He's like, they got the Niners this week. Then they got the Cowboys on the road. Then I think they might have the Niners next. And Seattle's in there somewhere. They got a rough schedule. And he was like, so look, I'm not backing down, but I'm just, I'm a little less confident than I was before.
Expectations have been tempered a little bit.
Look, well, they're trash, dude. The Birds are trash. Jalen Hurts, not great. They won that game 2 weeks ago because they didn't ask Jalen Hurts to go win it for them. And that's where I'll leave it at.
Jeez.
Let's take a break.
All right.
What's up, guys? Jimmy from House of Havoc letting you know we want you guys to focus on you this fall with Stay Thirsty Co. That's right. We want you to shop the new back-to-school special on the website all September long, starting today, Labor Day. Going to get on there. You want to look fresh for school. If you're a college student at the bars, you want to talk to girls, you want to talk to guys, you want to look nice. You want to focus on yourself. On top of that great sale, promo code HAVOC, HAVOC, going to get you an additional 15% off at checkout. That's StayThirsty.co, I believe. StayThirsty.co, StayThirsty.com. I'm not positive on that. StayThirsty.co at IG will get you to the website. Once again, that's the back-to-school sale all September long, starting today, Labor Day. Promo code HAVOC gets you an additional 15% off. All right, we're back, and it is time to do fantasy football stardom situms. Before we get into this, last week I gave a little piece of advice on my teams. Don't be cute, because I tried to be cute, and it cost me a win.
Do it in week 1 or 2.
This week, all I have to say real quick, this isn't really advice. This is just me kind of talking out loud. I'm up by 2. I got Hawkinson against Aaron Jones and Green Bay's defense tonight. So possible, not probable.
I'm up by 16 after Lamar brought me all the way back up and over. I have Swift going tonight. I'm sorry, I'm not up 16. I'm up 6. It's 116 to 110. I have Swift going against Tunyon tonight. I think Swift should be able to hold off Tunyon, but you never know.
In that matchup, I'm up by 2 with the whole deal. I believe the guy I'm playing, Riggio, in another league, he is down by 8. Same deal. He's got Aaron Jones and Green Bay defense, and he's playing up against Hawkinson. So he's got 2 separate leagues where the game's going to matter tonight. And in both leagues, he picked 6.
I'm down by about 14 right now, and I got Rodgers, Adams, and Swift going.
I think everything will be okay.
Against who?
Tanya. So it's not.
Oh no, you're gonna be fine.
Everything will be okay.
Yeah, everything's gonna be right for you, Jack. Pray for
anything
me.
that goes to Tanya goes through Rodgers too. So
our long lost cousin T.J. Hawkinson needs to drop a 50 burger on him for me tonight, while Aaron Jones barely touches the field. Let's get into it. Quarterbacks.
First up, we got Kirk Cousins or Daniel Jones.
Oh, do you want me to go first?
Christ, go ahead.
I would say, what do we got? Minnesota? Who's Minnesota versus? I jumped into this early. I would say Daniel Jones, honestly. And that might be a little bit of Giants bias, but Atlanta's defense not known for being too good. He looked pretty good against Washington last week, given losing in the last 3 seconds, but I thought he looked pretty good. Kirk Cousins, I'm biased against the Giants, so I'm biased against Kirk Cousins rather, not against the Giants. I don't feel like he does anything exciting against Seattle. I would sit him, to be honest with you, if we came between those two.
Don't get excited over the matchup that he had with Arizona. I mean, that was a game where they hit the over before halftime.
But you see these things with Kirk Cousins all the time. He'll have a game like this where he throws the lights out, and then next week it could be a 3-interception, 120 yards.
I don't want to say Arizona doesn't have a good defense. They just seem to be one of those teams that plays to the level of their competition.
Okay.
So even though they got the win, Minnesota should have had no business being in this game. I mean, do you feel differently?
No, I don't like Minnesota.
I mean, I bet on them to cover, and they didn't. And that's Arizona playing defense.
Yeah.
Now you got Seattle. And you said it. The Giants are playing Atlanta Swiss cheese defense. Go DJ.
Yeah.
Daniel
Jones.
Dimes.
Next up, we got Teddy Bridgewater or Jalen Hurts.
I'll go first. I'll tell you right now. I know you might like hanging out on Monday night and having your quarterback go. People think this Dallas defense is no good for some reason. We thought that game was going to be a shootout, and they held that team to 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't risk it with Jalen Hurts until he proves it. And then you got Teddy going against the bullshit Jets defense.
Yeah, I would take Teddy also.
We got Jimmy Garoppolo or Carson Wentz.
Indianapolis is playing who?
They're playing Tennessee. I guess Carson Wentz and I don't even know. They're both not exciting. Do you know what I'm
missing?
Like,
it's Carson Wentz and then who?
It's Carson Wentz against the Titans or Jimmy Garoppolo against the Packers. And I'm just thinking the only reason I would say Carson Wentz is because these Tennessee games tend to find themselves, at your 30s.
Tennessee doesn't like to play defense.
Yeah.
Garoppolo's not like sexy because they could have 400 in total yards.
Yeah, or they could run with 4 different people.
Well, I'm saying they could have 400 total yards and 5 touchdowns, and it's all rushing touchdowns. Tough choice, but if I had to pick one of them, I'm probably taking Carson.
Yeah, Carson.
We got Derek Carr or Jared Goff.
Oof.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Last for the quarterbacks, we got Tyrod Taylor or Zach Wilson.
Before we get to this one, it's almost never going to be Jared Goff. Find a better option.
I agree.
Unless you're in a 12-team, 2-quarterback league, or you're in a bad quarterback league, which have you guys heard of this? There are bad quarterback leagues where the whole point is to get the worst quarterback.
Really?
So, like, touchdowns are negative 2 points and interceptions are worth 6.
I kind of like that. I think it's interesting.
So, unless you're in a bad quarterback league or a really deep 2-quarterback superflex league,
he's number one in the
Jared Goff is never a fucking choice. If you're in a 10-man
rankings.
standard league, don't even have him rostered.
Yeah, don't. So,
Tyrod Taylor or Zach Wilson. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, I'll tell you right now, Zach Wilson's my backup quarterback. He scored 23 in week 1, and then I don't even know if he broke negative points last week.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod Taylor's experienced. Carolina's going to give him hell, but I'm still probably going to go with the experience. Denver's going to give the Jets hell, too.
Yeah.
And guess what? Zach Wilson might die before the season ends. Like, the way that he's getting hit right now. Not actually die.
I know.
Not actually die. But, like, the rate he's getting hit and running around right now with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller coming for him and the boys, dude. Orange Crush 2.0, no thanks.
Yeah,
Tyrod Taylor.
Same thing, Tyrod Taylor, and for the same reasons. I think Denver is just going to give Zach Wilson a very hard time.
All right, we're going to move it on to running backs. We got Mike Davis or Cordarrelle Patterson.
Whew. This one's spicy because I watched Cordarrelle Patterson get these ridiculous plays yesterday. I think he had 2 touchdowns. One was off like a shovel pass. I think the other one was a rushing touchdown. I could be wrong.
You're right on that.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cordarrelle Patterson. He seems to make the offense. He seems more exciting. He seems to bring like an extra gear to the offense that Mike Davis is. He's more of a thumper.
The French call it a certain I don't know what.
Mike Davis is just gonna bump in, knock some people over, get through the line. Cordarrelle Patterson is just there's a pizzazz, an explosiveness almost.
This is what I have to say about it. If you want the guy who's probably gonna touch the ball 10 to 15 times no matter what, and you'll live with his results on touch share, you go Mike Davis. If you want a guy that might not touch the game until the middle of the third quarter, but might score 2 touchdowns like we saw him do yesterday, then you go Cordarrelle Patterson. Me, the way my team is shaped up right now, I want the guy who might go get me 25. Yeah. So I'm taking Cordarrelle Patterson.
I mean, I wouldn't start Davis as a RB1 or 2, but if you got a nice flex spot open, or if you have like a 2 flex league like how we have it, I wouldn't mind maybe just slotting Cordarrelle Patterson if the rosters are deep enough. You feel like taking a chance.
I'll tell you right now, the way our league is going, I'd start Cordarrelle Patterson.
Cordarrelle Patterson, the gadget player that works. Darrell Henderson or Chris Carson?
What were those people again?
Darrell Henderson or Chris Carson. Seattle was in a situation yesterday where they should have been putting this game away, where they were up big, and Chris Carson, has like 24 yards. Like, there was a point where Chris Carson had, I think, a touchdown or maybe 2 touchdowns, but only 22 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he's got the fantasy points, but where the fuck is this guy when they're grinding a game away? And it's been this guy's deal. It was Seattle's deal. We thought it was because of Brian Schottenheimer. Now he's gone. There's a new guy calling plays. They're still not grinding it out.
I mean, regardless, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say,
finish.
I'm starting, I'm not starting, why am I blinking out? Who the hell was you talking about?
Darrell Henderson or
Chris Carson. I'm starting Chris Carson because Darrell Henderson's going against Tampa Bay's defense. The run defense, I know you're a little skeptical about the defense, but the run defense is still very good. I don't think Henderson has as good of a day as as people think he may.
And he's banged up, right?
He's got I think it was his thumb, something. I think it might have been something with his hand. He is a little banged up. Sony Michel, I think, played the majority of the snaps yesterday. So
and I think go ahead.
Coming out of the game, and then Sony Michel wound up taking about 46% of
yeah.
the rest
So
of the game.
I go Chris Carson.
And I wouldn't start really. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I go Chris Carson. What do you mean? Didn't you say Chris Carson?
No,
too?
I thought you were going to say Henderson. I was very
no.
I
think McVay and Stafford kind of have a gentleman's agreement going on here, where they're going to try to throw for 57 touchdowns.
It could happen.
You know?
Yeah.
Like so. For that reason,
he
on
didn't
top
come
of
to
everything
Detroit
else.
for nothing.
All right, James Robinson or Antonio Gibson.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. This is a hard one. Again, if you want volume share, you go Antonio Gibson. I know McKissick had the crazy Thursday night game. Trust me, I know. I left him on my bench. That's not going to happen every week. Antonio Gibson is going to be their guy.
Yeah.
James Robinson right now isn't getting the lion's share of the carries, and that's without ETN coming back. I don't think ETN coming back is going to eat into his share, but it's going to be a committee kind of a deal. So if you think James Robinson might have a shot at vulturing 2 touchdowns on the goal line, then go for it. But if you want the guy who's going to get more touches, then you're going to want to go with
Antonio
Gibson. I always blank on these guys' names.
I would go with Antonio Gibson too, without a doubt. She also, like you're saying, I mean, James Robinson looks great, but Carlos Hyde is eating into the timeshare, and you wouldn't expect Carlos Hyde to eat into it, but there's a reason it's happening. You
mark my words right now. You, and all of you. Carlos Hyde has potential to be the next Frank Gore. We might just be hearing this.
He's going to be here forever.
He might be fucking fantasy up on like 4 or 5 different teams for the next 5 to 7 years. Who at this rate, he's been on fucking a quarter of the league already.
All right, we got Saquon Barkley or Joe Mixon.
Oof.
I wanted to answer confidently. I wanted to answer this one confidently, but now I just don't know. Look, Joe Mixon didn't do much. Pittsburgh's defense is scary. He's probably going to get more touches. He got 33, 34 total touches in week 1. I think he carried the ball 29 times and then had 4 or 5 catches, something like that. Until Saquon proves it, I can't go with him. So I kind of agree.
Mixon. I don't feel good about either of them, but if you're stuck between the two, I would go with Mixon.
You're a Giants fan.
I don't feel good.
You're watching more Giants than the rest of us in the room, probably.
Yeah.
Other than the one big run he had yesterday, what has he done to say he should be in your lineup?
I mean, I'm one of the people who have been saying he should be sitting, at least for the first week. I don't even think he should have played.
Quick answer on this: 10 seconds or less. Do you regret the pick yet? Go.
No.
All right, good enough. Next.
Last running backs for the segment: Kareem Hunt or Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh. Another spicy one. Kareem Hunt always kind of has that potential to go off, but the more Chubb's going and when they're both healthy, you're rolling the dice more on bigger plays.
Yeah.
He is more likely to catch the ball than Chubb is, but they run those fucking 3 tight end sets. It just seems like those non-wide receiver targets always going to the Harrison Bryant and Hoover and Njoku. Will have a sliding here and there. So that's rough.
Basically.
Jonathan Taylor is going to have the same kind of a deal going on. You got Nyheim Hines and don't they have someone else eating backfield touches back there too?
Is it Marlon Mack back?
Marlon Mack might be back.
Or he's not back yet?
I think it's just Taylor and Hines right now.
Okay.
I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor.
I would go Jonathan Taylor.
All right. Moving on to receivers. You got Rondale Moore or Marquise Brown?
Rondale Moore is the little shifty guy in
I was
Arizona.
gonna say, I don't know much about Rondale Moore.
He's a rookie.
Okay.
He's like a little shifty Tyreek Hill kind of a deal, and he Tyreek Hilled the shit out
I think I saw
the
him.
Vikings yesterday. 77-yard burner.
I would probably take Rondale Moore just based off the fact that he's in a better offense.
Well, it's Rondale Moore or who was the other choice again?
Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
See, like,
Give me
I'm going to
Rondale.
disagree because I think for all the reasons that I don't like Hollywood Brown, he's still the number one wide out.
Yeah.
He's the number one target out wide there. I mean, in Arizona, you got mouths to feed. You got Nuke Hopkins.
Mhm.
You got Christian Kirk in the slot. You've got
AJ Green.
AJ Green out there as well.
You're
All
also talking
Chase
about
Edmonds catches
Mhm.
balls. Connor catches balls. They got that guy that also used to play for the Ravens, Max Williams. Is that his name? Max Williams, I think is his name. He was catching 1,000,000 balls. So there's a lot more mouths to feed in Arizona. I'm going to go Marquise Brown.
All right. I'm going to move it on to Brandon Cooks and Henry Ruggs.
Oof.
I don't know what Cook's numbers have looked like this season at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. You want me to go off of feel? I know Ruggs had a big game in that big play on Sunday. I think he's only had one catch over 50 yards so far in his career. I think it's one. If not, it's not more than 3. And this is what the guy's supposed to be good at. He just hasn't been there. There's Bryan Edwards, the rookie from last year, is running deep. Like even last year, or maybe 2 years, I think it was last year, Aguilar became the deep ball guy.
Mm-hmm.
So plenty of people just seem to be able to plug and play to do what Ruggs does, and it's the only thing he allegedly can do well.
They also have another guy down there, Zay Jones, who's also running.
Yeah, Zay Jones is he's taller though. He's like a 6'2", like, get to the sticks and turn around kind of a guy. I mean, he's got wheels, but he's not just run 9s, 8s, and 7s like Ruggs is. And Ruggs hasn't done it. It's supposed to be the only thing he was good at. I'm looking at like a Tavon Austin level of draft bust coming for Ruggs right now. Like, that's how I feel about it. That's the track he's on anyway. Give me Brandon Cooks.
Give me Brandon Cooks just based off volume.
All right, we're going to move it on. KJ Osborne or Michael Pittman Jr.?
Who the fuck?
Yeah, who's KJ Osborne?
KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne is the receiver behind Justin Jefferson on the Vikings. And I'm going to guess.
Oh, give me Michael
So
Pittman.
he's their number 3?
Give me Michael Pittman.
He's their number 3. Behind Jefferson and Thielen.
Behind Jefferson and Thielen. Had a great game, though.
Yeah, give me Michael Pittman as
give me
the
Michael
true
Pittman.
number 1 or 2 over there.
Alrighty then. Sterling Shepard or CeeDee Lamb?
Oh,
okay.
Damn,
You go first because I need to check something really quick.
Sterling Shepard's showing up, man. I mean, you already knew CeeDee Lamb was going to show up. Sterling, I'm not sure. Well, let's see. So you got Sterling Shepard against the Falcons, which is always good. And then we have, who's Dallas versus? They're versus Philly. Give me Sterling Shepard. Why not? What are you checking over there?
CeeDee Lamb,
Yeah.
season rank, wide receiver 33. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver 29.
Yeah. It's like that right now. Sterling Shepard is going off, especially with the game in Washington. I guess.
Yeah.
Give me some Sterling Shepard.
Now, granted,
Why not?
nobody else had played yet, but at the end of Thursday night, Sterling Shepard was wide receiver 3. Now, obviously, he was a whole game ahead of
Yeah.
everybody. But he's got about almost 40 points over the course of 2
Yeah.
weeks. He's got like 20 and then 18. I'm moving him into my starting lineup this week, and I'm taking him today.
Yeah, I would take him over CeeDee Lamb, and I have CeeDee Lamb in our league.
I know. I just went to your team to check CeeDee Lamb.
So
All right, our last receivers, Adam Thielen or Juju?
oh man, I guess Adam Thielen. I don't know.
Pick your poison.
They're both touchdown dependent.
Yeah, you just.
What it comes down to for me, for what I've seen of Pittsburgh, and I'm not sitting down watching entire Pittsburgh Steeler games here. That's not what I'm doing. I'm watching as much of every game as I can at one time. From what I've seen, they don't seem to know how to properly utilize anybody on that roster right now. Like Claypool isn't involved enough, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I get Deontay Johnson's fast. He's also 5'6", so he's featured too much.
He's hurt now, so
they don't get Claypool the ball enough. For that reason, I'm going the other touchdown dependent. Thielen, yeah.
I'm actually going to go Juju, and that's only because between the matchups, I think he's more likely to get a touchdown than Thielen is.
It's fair. It's fair. He's probably more likely to have 2, honestly.
Just
against Cincinnati,
yeah.
We're going to move it on to tight ends, but just little warning. Tight ends suck this week, so.
Tight ends suck this year.
Yeah.
Would hate to have 3 of them.
We'll start it off hot, though. We got Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews.
Oh. Give me Mark Andrews. Why not?
They're trying to justify taking Kyle Pitts as high as they did by getting him the ball early and often.
It's not looking
but for volume, I'm just going to take him.
Yeah.
On targets, Kyle Pitts has not been dropping balls. He was 6 for 7, I believe, yesterday. So it's
they're trying to get him the ball. You kind of feel like you have to justify taking a tight end as high as they did. And even you saw him come out there. I was interested to see how it was going to look and how much actual tight end he's going to be playing. And he comes out, he's basically wearing fucking receiver pads, dude.
Yeah.
He might as well.
He looks like a receiver.
He might as well have laser tag equipment on for shoulder pads. Kyle Pitts.
All right. We got Austin Hoover or Blake Jarwin.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Dude, I'll tell you right now, every time a tight end catches a ball in a Cleveland game, you're trying to figure out, it's always Hooper.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Dalton Schultz is at least eating, the Jarwin Schultz deal. I mean, Hooper's obviously, we just talked about the 3 tight ends they use. Just based off what I feel, and this could change in a few weeks, but for this week, what I feel is to go with Hooper.
Yeah, give me Hooper. There's too many other options in Dallas.
All right. So we got Kyle Rudolph. Or we got the other tight end in Denver that I can't pronounce. Albert Okwuegbunam.
Let me see it.
Give it a shot.
I know who he's talking about. I don't know how to say the last name, though.
Albert.
He scored last week.
Okwuegbunam. Yeah, I know. Jesus, dude. Pick another tight end. I'm giving it the not you. You're fine.
No, he's saying pick another tight end.
What I'm giving you is
don't go with Albert.
Yeah.
Sorry,
neither.
Albert.
I'm giving you the rare neither.
Who was the other one besides Albert?
Kyle Rudolph.
Oh my God.
If it's gotta be the two of them, I guess Kyle Rudolph. But try to find a better. Hit the scrap heap if those are your 2 choices.
Leave your spot open.
Yeah, take the 0.
Those 2 people.
All right, this is as exciting as it's gonna get. Rob Gronkowski or Noah Fant.
Rob Gronkowski is in a time machine.
Rob Gronkowski is on fire.
Yeah.
It seems like Rob knows the playbook. Tom knows the playbook. When we get down within the 5, we're going to call
we know what's going on.
It's like Gronk's got a little bracelet with 10 plays on it, and they're like, hey, Gronk, inside the 20, we're running one of these 10.
You start looking at your bracelet
start reading them now. Reading them now. Jets probably going to continue to be terrible against tight ends. It might be interesting. Here's the deal, play Gronkowski, but if you have both of these guys, maybe think about putting Font in a flex spot if you can afford to.
I have Noah Font on all my teams. I would take Gronkowski in a heartbeat over Noah Font.
Last pick him for the day, Jonnu Smith or Mike Gesicki.
Give me Jonnu Smith.
So Tua is not playing?
Yeah.
See, I'm not as worried about the tight end split in New England as originally I might have even been.
I think Smith's the better tight end.
Yeah, but they're treating them like different players, and they are different players, and they're clearly playing 2 different positions within their offense. They're doing that a lot of the shit we saw with Gronk and Hernandez, where Jonnu Smith is Hernandez and Hunter Henry is Gronk. So I'm gonna take Jonnu.
Yeah, I'll take Jonnu too.
All right, that's what we got. This is your week 3 fantasy pick'ems.
And we're gonna take a quick break. All right, what's up, guys? As everyone knows, this season we are on YouTube. Last season we weren't, and I got to be honest with you, we were dressing like shit a little bit, We weren't worried about what people saw. We were wearing pajamas. We had Anthony coming in wearing whatever sweats he wore to work that day. Half the time I'd roll out of bed and show up to the studio. But now the people are going to see us, and we got to look fresh. We want that fine Italian fucking material. That's right. We're talking Saatchi di Dinero, streetwear brand from Long Island, New York. The gear is fire. It looks good. Right now, I got the M5 Motivated Money Making Monday morning hoodie on, okay? You're going to be able to get this and so much more at SaatchiDiDinero.com. Promo code HAVOC is going to save you 10% off. That's SaatchiDiDenero.com. HAVOC. Promo code HAVOC gets you 10% off. Always authentic, never counterfeit. Saatchi di Dinero. All right, and we're back. It is time for the Tournament of Degenerates. Week 2 results quick. Myself, I went into the week with an available balance of 970. I went big. I put 550 on New Orleans, laying 3.5. That lost. We're down to 420. Bryan wasn't available last week. Life gets in the way. Bank sits at 900. No bets made. Alessino was at 1127. All right. Stay with me here now. Everything's separate. He had Dallas money line that hit at plus 140. He had the Kansas City with the points, lost that. San Fran with the points, won that. Rams with the points, lost that. Arizona with the points, lost that. Everything was 110 to win 100, besides Dallas was 100 to win 140 at plus 140. After you do all that math, he's at 1037. Jack was at 1550. He lost 200 on a parlay. Don't remember what the parlay was. Doesn't matter. He's at 1350, still in the lead. And Cousin Joe was at 900 for the week. He put a $100 parlay in. That was the New England money line. Miami plus 3.5. Pitt minus 5.5. Didn't hit. He had KC with the points. Didn't hit. And he had Dallas with the points. After all the math works out, he's at 890. So I'm still in a staggering last place. Joe is in right behind me, then Bryan, then Alessino, then Jack. So let's get right into this week. Bryan, you want to go first? Or should we do Ant's picks first? Since
do Ant's picks first, yeah.
Let's do Alessino. He texted his picks in for us. Seattle laying 3.5. He's laying 330 to win 300. And then he's going with the Green Bay money line, Seattle money line, $100 parlay to win 375. Keeping it simple.
All right, so for me, I did 2 3-team parlays. So for the first one, we got the Bengals plus 4.5, the Giants minus 3, and I actually have the Chargers plus 6.5. I don't think the Chargers necessarily win this game, but I do think it's going to be close. I think it stays close. We got that at 100 to win 560. And then the other one I have set is pick 'em for the Tampa Bay, picking Tampa Bay Bucks. Got the Seattle Seahawks at minus 1.5.
100 on Tampa Bay? 100 to win 100?
This is all part of the parlay.
Oh, it's all a parlay.
Sorry. Right. That game is a pick 'em currently.
Right. No, I got you.
Tampa Bay, yeah. Seattle Seahawks minus 1.5, and then Green Bay Packers plus 3.5. Feel like that's an easy bet. 100 to win 600 for that one.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So I'm going with the first tease in the tournament. I'm going with the 2-team 6-point teaser. Take the 6, you take Carolina down to 1.5, minus 1.5, and you take KC down to minus 0.5. Those are that's essentially a money line parlay at minus 110 odds, which you would not get, you know. So that's 110 to win 100 on that. Then I'm going Vegas, laying 4 points, 220 to win 200. Okay. And 3-team parlay. Green Bay money line, Seattle laying 1.5, Indianapolis money line over Pittsburgh. It's 100 to win 1439. Plus 1439 on that parlay. Listen, Indy, I'm getting bold. I'm in last place by a lot. I'm in last place by a lot. So something. I needed it. If I zero out, I'm at minus $10 going into week 4.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, what do you got?
So as a rookie, I felt a little confident this week. I went a little crazy here. I went with 100 first for the Colts money line to win 210. I parlayed Atlanta and the Bengals money line 100 to win 592. Good? We're good?
Yeah.
All right. And then I got another parlay here, 100 for the Bengals and the Chargers money line to win 862.
Ooh.
And I got 100 for this parlay. It is Washington and Saints money line.
Washington and the Saints money line, and that's 100 to win what?
100 to win 846.
I'll tell you right now, what was the Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals moneyline parlay, 100 to win almost 9? Good luck, dude.
Dude, I was feeling ballsy.
It's a lot of ballsy picks this week.
It's only 100, so it's not that bad.
He's in the lead. He's feeling confident.
Yeah, he's only in the lead by like 200, not even. But hey, whatever. Look, I get it. I might be negative next week. It is what it is. It's a long season. There's plenty of room for swings. People start, like, I wouldn't be surprised, and I bet you it's because, one, it's early in the season, and two, he's not here. If I was at a point where I was like him or Alessino and I was plus 1,000, I'd bet all 1,000.
Yeah, start throwing it.
I'd start throwing it around and build an insurmountable lead. So that way, by the time we get to week 10, you're gonna start fucking taking out loans to catch me. But hey, here I am with no money to play with. I tried doing that last week. I went 550 to win 500 on the Saints, and then I'd be up big and I'd be able to throw money around this week. Unfortunately, I have to bet a little bit more than what I have in my bank just to try to stay relevant.
I was feeling good.
One of these days, cousin Joe Fiore will actually send the picks on Monday. He always tells me, "Oh, but it's Monday. It's so the games are but it's Monday for us too. All right, it's Monday for fucking everybody, Joe. So get it together." But he will be sending me his picks on Instagram probably at 10 minutes before the games start on Sunday. That being said, it's time for the Glizzy God pick of the week. We don't fucking miss, dude. We told you, I looked you right in the eyes last week, and I told you, Dallas, plus 3.5 or plus 3, whatever it was at the time, the line moved. I think it was plus 3.5 at the time. Cannot miss. I put money on it. It's the reason I made money this week was that I put money on the Dallas money line, and it hit for us. 16-2 against the spread now. 12-6 against the money line. Alessino, we all know now. I guess he's 15-5, and he's a couple behind me. He's 15-5 against the spread for sure. Bryan's 0-0. So we're bringing a new guy in. We're going to keep him in. Why don't you? I think we might all be on the same page again. So. Alessino texted his Glizzy God into me. Didn't read it until after I already picked mine. We happen to fall on the same team again, folks. What do you know? You go ahead. Let the people know.
Are you going with the Packers?
It's the Packers.
Yeah,
it's the Packers plus 3.
Doesn't make
plus
makes
3 or plus
sense.
3.5. I think they're plus 3 right now.
As of this morning, plus 3 could have shifted.
Plus 3.5 right now.
It's plus 3.5. Yeah. It was 3, and it's already up to 3.5. Get that. Hit that now because
hammer that shit.
Especially if they fucking win tonight, that line's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So I might put that fucking bet in when we leave the studio. Like,
I was gonna say the same thing.
I put the Cowboys bet in on Tuesday last week, and then DeMarcus Ware broke his foot, and I was like, oh no. But hey, I thought about the numbers. 12 out of 18 times, it's fucking cashing.
Yeah.
On the money line, 16 out of 18 times it's cashing against the spread. So how do you fucking go wrong? So it's the Packers plus 3 in San Francisco. Hopefully they don't get smacked around in about 7 minutes, and we look foolish. But hey, even the train rolls on. The Glizzy train rolls on.
Gotta keep chugging along.
We hope for another strong win, and we make money. We all make money. The book doesn't, and we all have a good time. Before we sign off real quick, as always, brought to you by Tiger Pack Productions, House of Havoc Podcast Network, Stay Thirsty Company, and Sachi Di Dinero. Peace out.
Peace.